Wilson here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about anchor text. I'm going to show you how to pick it. I'm going to show you essentially a strategy that you can run through when you're trying to select anchor text for a specific page. It's a question we get quite a lot. We get asked, what anchors are safe? What am I going to get away with? What's Google going to allow me to do? So I'm going to run through an example in this video, and I'm going to talk about a basic process that I use to do my anchor text. Okay, so essentially I've got like a 3-step process here. This is essentially what I would follow in my head when I'm doing anchor text. So number one is what anchor text you have, what anchor text do you want to have, and then you want to plan that out. Okay, so one of the most important things to understand is that if you're going into a niche where you don't need to build a lot of anchor text, then you can be a little more pushier with the few anchor text that you do, right? But if you're going into a niche where you maybe need a lot of links to that page or a specific page, you might want to be safer with some of your anchors so that you're kind of de-optimizing the ones that you're going to be more pushy with. Okay, so I'm going to run through an example here. Let's say, just for example, the first thing I'll do is I'll come in and Google the keyword, and I'll get an idea based on how authoritative my site is and how authoritative other sites are. What I want to try and find is a site that's similar to mine but might have more page links, right? So let's similar to mine in relevance. So let's say, for example, I've got a website that's about Labradors, right, or dogs, right? I'm going to compare myself to this guy here because this guy's also got a Labrador site, and I'll look at his overall authority and then his overall page authority to get an idea of how close I am to him, right? I might have the same overall like website authority as him, but on a page level, I need to make up more. He might have, for example, he's got 20 links. If you had the exact same domain authority as him, same kind of links and stuff, you might want to build 25 links to the page, right, to beat him out. That's the kind of way you need to think about it. Okay, now obviously links are not equal. There's a lot more that goes into than that, but that's at a very broad level what I'd be looking at when I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do and what I'm going to place in each of these areas. Okay, so essentially what I'm going to do here is I'm going to talk about some examples. So I'm going to say, for example, I'm going to do a few examples. I'm going to say, let's say I was building 2 links to a page. I'll do 5 links to a page, and then I'll do 10 links to a page. Okay, so I'm just going to do each of these examples of kind of the approach on anchor text that I'm going to do. Okay, so if I'm doing 2 links to a page, let's say it's an inner page on an affiliate site, and the keyword that I'm going after is very non-competitive, and I'm only building 1 or 2 links. I'm going to come in here and do pretty pushy anchors. Okay, so I'm going to use this example here. Let's say I'm just going to use this keyword in every example. I might come in here and literally hit, dog toys for teething, and literally just do best dog toys for teething as well. That's going to be my 2 anchors for my links. Okay, because I'm only doing a couple, so they don't need to be super safe. I'm not going to over optimize as long as I don't do maybe the same anchor twice like this. If I'm doing a couple like this and they're different anchors and it's just a couple to that page, that'll be fine. You'll get away with that, no problem. Now, when I'm starting to do more than a couple links, I'm going to be a bit more careful. So what I'll usually do on a page is I'll start with sort of safer anchors. So I might do like a URL anchor. I might do a click here, and then I might do like dog toys for teething. Then I might do best dog toys for teething, right? And I might even come back at this point at the end with a URL anchor again, right? So it just depends on how things go or where things go. But I'm generally going to start out with like a much safer anchor text, because the safer anchor text essentially sets a base for me to where I'm not going to mess the page up. Okay, I don't want to come in with all my heavy hitting anchor text to start. I want to come in with safe anchors, see how the page reacts and see how the page moves, and then I'm going to come in and hit the more pushier ones later on, which are going to shove things right up. Like I'd like to get to page 1 or 2 normally, with my safer anchor text, which gets me like pretty close, or even like onto middle of page 1 would be great with safe anchor text and high relevance in my links, and then I'll come in and start tapping in some of the more pushier ones. But again, if I'm in an easier niche, I might just go in and push the pushier anchors, right? So if I'm doing 10 links, I'm going to do more safe anchors. So I might do like 2 URL anchors, right? Oops. So we'll do URL anchor there, we'll do URL anchor there. And what I might even do sometimes is mix up the URL anchors. Like I might take away like a slash at the end, a trailing slash at the end, just to mix it up. So I might do like a couple, I'll maybe do like 2 there, and then I'll come in and I'll do like a click this link, just like a really like non-pushy anchor text. And I might start to get a little bit tushy, so dog toys I might do. So just talk, a little bit about the topic. I might come back again with another safe anchor, a URL one, and then I might even do a branded. So in this case, I've just called the website. So I might just put in my brand name. I wouldn't do this too much unless my brand name actually includes keywords. Um, if the brand name doesn't include keywords, I'll sometimes do like brand name plus keywords. So like dog toys for teething, right? So I'm now included dog toys for teething quite a lot, but I've made it quite safe in all of these, right? This one's like a non, doesn't include it at all, but really a lot of these include my keywords in it, right? So at this point, I've done a pretty safe layer. It's still including my keyword relevance, but it's not really, I'm not telling Google yet what I'm trying to rank for, right? So maybe at this point I'll come in, okay, best dog toys for teething, right? And then I might do, dog toys for teething. See how I've set this like stable base to start? It keeps me really safe, and I'm assuming maybe I've done those safe ones in month 1 to 4 or something like that, and my page is already page 1, and I'm like, okay, well, I probably only need a couple more pushier anchors to get up the top, right? Sometimes you'll even rank with the safe anchors, and that's great because it knows you're never going to have any issues, right? You don't want to come in and point is you don't want to use all your good cards at the start. You want to come in safe, especially when you're in a situation where you need to build 10 links, 20 links to a page. You want to do this sort of approach that I'm saying. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're in 8 links here. So I might do toys for dogs with teething issues, including different words again. And then I could do the same one again at this point, best dog toys for teething. So if I'm really trying to push hard in this keyword, I could do that again. Because I've got so many now, so many other types of links, with different anchors, I could come in and use the same anchor a couple times at this point, right? After you've sort of hit the 5, 6 link mark, I'd say it's fine to come in and hit the same anchor text a few times. Just don't really overdo it. And I wouldn't generally do the same anchor text, push your anchor text like more than 3 or 4 times, even if the page has a ton of links. But there'll be certain situations where I'll treat that a little bit differently, maybe in sort of spammier niches, which I'm going to talk about looking at competition in a second. But essentially, I'm going to start off safe, build into better links, and then I'm going to include my pushier anchor text down the bottom. Okay, later on in the process. Okay, so that's a kind of rundown of how I do it. Okay. And you notice how I went through that process. Okay, so the first thing I looked at is what I have. Okay, so that was something I didn't take into consideration there. All I looked at was this. I'm just presuming that these are brand new pages that have no links going to them, and I'm just saying this is how many links I'm going to build. Now, it could be that you're coming into doing a page and you've already got like some pushier anchor text, like you might do. It's an existing page, right? And it's already got some pushier anchor text. So I'm not going to come in and I'm not going to come in and do this to do like a plan the same way. I'm going to look, okay, so it's pushier. So I'm going to need to liquidate this a little bit. So I might include some of these right after this. Now I'm going to start with these, right? Or maybe, you've already got an existing page and it's already got like a ton of URL anchors. It's like this already is the page. I don't need to go in and do URL anchors or click this link anchors. Like it's got really safe stuff already. I might do like a website one, just keep it safe again if I'm building a lot of links, and then I'll come in and start hitting my big ones. I don't need to build. I don't need to come in and build lots of links that have safe anchors when it already has it. So you need to look at what you currently have and kind of go either way with it. You're either going to go safe or you're going to go quite pushy with what you're doing. Okay. And inside this guide in the blog post, I'm going to be including a list of all the different types of anchors you can do and what ones would be considered safe. Really, you're going to have like URL, which is going to be like a website URL. You're going to have branded, which is just the website brand. You're going to have partial match keyword, which is just going to be like that's going to be like something like toys for dogs with teeth, and still often includes the keyword, but it's not specific, right? It's not an exact match keyword. Okay, so then I'll have an exact match keyword, which is like literally the pushes you can be, which is like dog toys for teething, right? So that's the sort of main ones I do. There might be other ones you can do as well, but that's the different types of anchors you can do. And the safest is probably going to be like URL branded. The safest completely is just non pushy at all. You can have like a click here or like this website. All those sorts of ones are nice to work in, especially if you're doing a lot of links because they're really, really safe. But they're not passing any relevance. They're just like click here's, like they don't include any relevance. So I'm not going to use these if I'm only building a couple of links to the page. I'm going to use these if I'm being much more pushy. Okay. Sorry, if I'm doing a much bigger page and I'm building a sort of long term structure, like I'm doing a safe structure and then I'm going to be pushier later on. Okay, so that's the different types of anchors, and then you look at what you have, what you want to have. Okay, so you maybe have already 3 links, 5 links. You need to look at how many you're going to build, and you need to plan it out. Like I'm saying, if you need to include push, if you need to go hard on it, you need to basically plan out what you want to have and plan that out essentially, and then just build away in that plan. Okay, so that's essentially how we do anchor text. The one thing I didn't really cover here was competition. So what you'll want to look at as well is how pushy you can be. Like if you do what I'm saying and you keep it as safe as that, you're going to be fine in any niche. That's a very safe way of doing it. But there are some niches where you can actually come in and be much pushier than I've said. You don't need to do really any URL anchors, but it does depend on the niche. So what you want to do often there is look at your competition and see what they're getting away with. So and some spammier niches, like payday loans or things like that, you'll notice a lot of your competition will be using more pushier anchors all the time. You'll be able to get away with the same if they're doing it, okay? But maybe if you go into something like gardening, for example, strange niche like that, you might have to be a bit more like set laid back on your anchors, okay? So your goal is to blend in and make sure you're not doing anything more pushier than the competition, keeping it safe, and always when you're working on other pages, build like a safe layer of links. So make sure your relevance is high on the links, and then make sure your anchor text is safe to start, especially if you build more than like 5 or 10 links to the page. That way, you're just going to be totally fine. You're not going to have any issues. You build that safe layer underneath of like maybe 30-40% of your links, and then you can start smashing in all of the heavier anchors as you start to rank naturally. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope it's kind of giving you a better understanding on how to pick anchor text. This is the process that we use at Get Me Links to pick anchor text for our clients. We do all this competition analysis, and we essentially look at what they have, what they don't have, and we come in and construct a plan just like this. So it's what you're going to want to do as well. A lot of you guys want to probably do it yourself because it's going to be a valuable thing, even if you're building links externally to us. So very important skill to know, and this is kind of how we do it. All right. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you get any questions, you can always reach out to our support, and we'll look forward to hear from you. Thank you. Bye bye.